Hi and good morning. This is Elena with Angel Messages with Elena. And sorry about these little guys here. I guess they're kind of angels wandering around, trying to figure out where they're coming from. But you know what? Let's just say that December is blessed. I'm doing the monthly reading for December 1st through January 4th. We have Sagittarius going on. Capricorn comes in right after is Christmas. So we have Saint Day of Guadalupe coming up, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, lots of wonderful things to be really getting into that miraculous spirits and walking in their blessings. Okay, so the overall energy for December is death and magic. Why that is because I really believe that this is like a new moon card. And December 1st is like the first day of the new moon if we put all of the cycles of the planets going on in here. So that is really amazing. It's a magical time. It's an easier time to release. You know, and I was going to do a reading on Charles Dickens's in A Christmas Carol and how one person can actually in one day transform and be completely whole the next day. I really believe that this is the most beautiful time that it can be done. So if you're down in the dumps or you know people that are just struggling, there is hope for them. All they have to do is just open up their hearts and let the spirits and the angels lead. I mean, you know, God, our Heavenly Father and Mother, doesn't want us to be here to constantly be in pain, right? It is time to get out of that thinking and into, you know, past the struggles and into helping others get across that finish line so that we can celebrate, that we can enjoy our life. It says when we honor God as mother and father, then our days on the land that God has given us will be very long. So we can have longer days than 60, 70, 100 years old. We can live into the days of Genesis, where all the people in the Bible lived 600 and 700 years. I totally believe in that. Okay, so the first week of December is December 1st through the 7th. And on the 7th, we remember Pearl Harbor. It was a devastating time. An enemy came from our back door and devastated the Hawaiian Islands, mainly Oahu, where the aircrafts were. So it was like a declaration of war because I do believe that, you know, and tapping into FDR, it was just like, you know, I don't think war was really something that we wanted to continue. We were staying out of it, and then all of a sudden we were really brought into it. We were helping allies, but we were still in kind of neutral. But then when we were attacked, it was just like, you know, we had to do something in retaliation. So just kind of remember that it says let go of the revenge because the vengeance is our God and our God will take care of that. So get out of that idea of vengeance. So think of that about letting God take control instead of us trying to make war out of peace or peace out of war. I mean, it doesn't work. It has to come within each one of us, peace within. All right, so I'm doing the Akashic Tarot with this is Sandra Ann Taylor and Sharon Ann Klinger, and then I do believe it's Time and Its Meetings Oracle cards. So the first one that's coming up, this is the Scribe. It's the number 12, right? December is the 12th month because this is a syncing, and it's like, you know, this is a time that people are writing things. They're writing Christmas cards, they're writing stories, they're writing memoirs. So just to know, this is the most opportune time to really keep your journals and keep your diaries, to, you know, set the writing in motion because it's going to be honored. People are going to listen because, you know, people really touch into the emotions of it all. It seems like we need to be entertained, but we need to have those emotions to be drawn up and to release it, not to keep it down within. So, write those heartfelt stories, and especially ones that, have a beautiful ending, just like Charles Dickens, how a Tiny Tim did not die, but he was able to get help. And, through the sickness, and how Ebenezer Scrooge was such a miser and a scaredy cat because he had so much fear, heartbroken, and how he just released it all and enjoyed the moment. And I'm sure he carried that throughout each day of the year. So if you get into that bah humbug, well, you're going to be touched really by the heart a lot this year. Yeah, angels, they're all, leading that doorway into their journey for you to be in those special encounters and connections. And then our next card is the King of Roses. This is, it's like the king is coming home. There's so much on the horizon. The King of Keys is like, there is a key. The key to how to come home is a sweet smell, those, all the sweet savory smells that brings us home each holiday. Is like the king is returning after so much war, so much struggles, and it's just like how each one of us has gone through all those, conflicts, frustrations, the end of myself. Where do I go from here? You are not alone. No one is ever truly alone, because our angels, our guardian angels, are constantly with us each and every day. Divine God is with us each and every day, and all you have to say is, help me, lead me, I am here, teach me, and they will certainly do that. So then we come into the Seven Scrolls of industries and intricacies. This is, all the little fine tuning into business. This is, the scrolls is about the knowledge that's coming in, and how this man is building each block and building the tower, building this bridge, building a wall, building something, either, to keep something out, or to contain something that they are enjoying, or to build a bridge to, bring everybody together into this beautiful connection. So lots of knowledge is coming in during the first week of December. So be aware of that. And then we have the 13 card. This is about the burning. This is a burning of the vines. A lot of its time is to the original God's calendar. So this is actually most perfect, because it's like the end of November into December is the burning of the vines. And how I am doing this reading on November 30th, the end of November, and tomorrow is the beginning of December, the new moon. So it's perfect. I mean, I picked these cards like 3 days ago, and it's just like perfect. So some of the stones that you want to get into is garnet and amethyst. So amethyst is really a beautiful protection. It helps with the knowledge. Garnet, if you have a bleeding disorder, if you're a woman who you can't keep your menstrual cycle on flow, I do believe that God uses that, and uses a woman who has a cleansing blood during certain times. Garnet really helps with menstrual cycles and into our hormones. So there's a burning process that is going on. And we are the vines. It says that, there's a gathering of the vines and the grapes, and that we are coming into this harvest. And this harvest is not just about the things that we're getting, but what God is giving and getting ready to give to a lot of you into your spiritual gifts. These are your rewards. The other rewards are the things that you are longing for, your desires of your hearts. You find joy in the Lord, you will get your heart's desire. So all of these things are starting to manifest into December. All right, so the second week of December is December 8th through the 14th. We had the full moon on the 12th, and the Virgin of Guadalupe also happens on the 12th, the full moon. full moon is about mother, the nurturing spirit. So tap into mother when you think of the Virgin Mary, Virgin Guadalupe. I don't really know a lot about her. So maybe go ahead and put down into the comments anything that you can find about Virgin Guadalupe. I do believe that she had visions. Many of the virgins, they were made pure. It means that they didn't just have sexual purity like we think in the Bible, because it says that we will be made pure. So the purity part is, she's lived the life and was able to go through this purification process to be pure. And then that's where we get the idea of virgins, a woman who is pure. All right, so during the first week, we have the Three of Forces, and this is the bird's nest. This is the time to, to bring people home, right? We're getting ready to nest. We're, preparing our homes. We're preparing for the returning of our children and grandchildren and the connection with families. For some of you who don't have families, there's going to be like open doors for you to go to parties and to go and be social. I do believe that that is something that you're going to feel home at. So say yes to those invitations. Don't be the party pooper and the humbugger, because there's something that you're going to learn at these social gatherings. You're going to learn more about yourself, your coworkers, your neighbors. I mean, I'm personally going to spend time at my neighbor's house, a Mexican neighbor who's going to have menudo, which I really don't like menudo, but I will at least eat some tortillas. So, but I know I will learn something from them, because I always learn something about the Mexican culture. So yeah, this is the nesting time. The Three of Forces is the energy that is putting into this nesting period. This could also be that if you're pregnant and expecting, or that this is a great time to become fertile, to be pregnant. If you've been struggling with that, and the time from the waxing of the moon to the full moon is the most opportune time through the moon. As I have seen for a lot of years. All right, Four of Scrolls is the karmic trench. Yeah, it's stretched out, but it's kind of like, okay, so if stretching is coming in, I kind of see the stretching and the thinning, kind of like the birthing process is like, it's got to be a thinning of the mucus plug in order for the birth to happen. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are going to be like awakened and open, and they're going to feel like into this new moon, into this baby learning child process of school, the school of spirituality, the school developing a journal for the language of the angels primer. And so this is really coinciding with that, because it's like, how to talk to my angels after I'm awake, because you're gonna a lot of people are gonna struggle with that. And it's like, I'm hearing things that I don't normally hear, and people want to tone it down and say that it's not real, but it's very real. And that's why I do my YouTube channels and try to get the messages out there, because I want to be here to support you when that happens. So the karmic trench, you can also change your karma. If it's been bad, December, I tell you what, everything changes in December. The line of the portals that are opening is amazing, and it's not going to just be one specific day. It's going to be for the whole month of December that all of these changes are going to happen, and it's going to be like overnight. So just remember, if it's been bad for so long, it can change, and it will start being really great for you, little by little, or it could just plunge right in and just like you feel like you're in the deep water. But to know that there's a lifesaver out to you, and all you have to do is just ask, and those angels will send you to the right connections. And then we have reflection. This is the most opportune time also to reflect things that has held you back. Even in relationships, and in a relationship where I'm encouraged, in a partnership with my boss, that I don't feel like I'm controlled, that I can actually freely think of artistic things. This is perfect because there is a full moon here, that this coincides definitely to the full moon on the 12th. 1212 is a very powerful number as well when you see syncings, and it comes to the 3 threes. So just kind of remember that December 12th is the most opportune time to really tap into the full moon, the nurture, the mother, caring that you are being cared for. I can't tell you enough how special you all are, and that we're here to help you. You're not by yourself. So don't get into like, I gotta stay in my room, I gotta stay in my closet, nobody understands, because we all been there. We all been there in one certain time, but it's up to you to say, I need help. Or, because I had taught my daughter how to say, instead of, making noise and, I don't like the whining. So I taught her very young how to say, mom, help mom, into a language that I can understand. So don't go into, all this different kinds of language and, and emotions and get trapped into that. Put yourself out there, because there is, connections that are happening. But you got to be really open to it. This is a time for intercessory, and intercessory only happens for specific people at a specific time, because they're going to change the world. So just kind of remember that too, that there's not, your guardian angels are going to do what they can to support you and to keep you from harm, but to know that we have free will. We have that will that we could do whatever we want, even without the disregard to the messages that are coming. Is up to you. Again, constantly is up to you. So its timing card is April, and this is water, and the stones is diamonds and the emeralds. Diamonds, women, if you have diamonds or getting engaged, most opportune time, because that's holiday and love and joy and peace, harmony, all these things really happen at this time. And just remember, when you have your diamond and you cleanse it with salt, vinegar, water, and rinse it off, you don't have to soak it in there very long. Just swish it and clean it with clean water, and then just take a little bit of anointing oil and just anoint that oil, wipe it off, shine it back up, and that actually amplifies your energies. So when you use an emerald with it, emerald again is a very protective, it's very energetic, it's very healing. Green, and I'm wearing green, and the opposite is red, and it's the fire. So you'll see the energies of this power that's coming up, but you can direct your energies through your diamonds. And how special is that brides to be and brides are given diamonds, that we can change it and move the energies within us, but also outside of us. So kind of remember that you are a very powerful magician with that diamonds. It's kind of like, your little wands that you can do stuff, but your diamond can do so much more. So just kind of remember, you can direct your energies, and you can heal others by directing the energy out of you. So it's real important to keep up with cleansing. Okay, April is about the emergence and the opening. So it's like, this stuff is opening up, and you're seeing things from a different light. Stories are making sense. Morals, maybe we've been talking about different things, and it's just like, I just don't understand. And then it's like epiphanies, ideas, and all of these things are starting to open up for you. The opening process, again, is a birthing process. The emergence, everything coming out into the open. No more travailing through labor. Now you're going to see that joy coming out, the bundle of joy, and whatever God has given you for that joy. December 3rd is, or the third week, the third week of December is December 15th through the 21st. And this is, the 21st is also the longest day of the year, and it's equinox, because it's equal half days and nights before it starts changing again, where it's getting really dark. We have winter begins right on the 21st. And I think that's, the major, just remember the 21 is the reflection of 12. So you're going to start seeing reflections. You're going to start seeing stuff reversed. So it's like if you always saw things in a negative way, you're going to see them in a positive way. If you've always been a real positive person, you're going to see that reflecting more into your children and your grandchildren and the people around you. It's going to be contagious, and that's the kind of reflection that you're going to see. All right, so we have the Three of Roses, and this is the loving elementals. This is perfect timing because the elementals are the fairies and the pixies, right? Tinkerbell, and all of these things are coming out. They're slowly but surely. I've seen many different things that I cannot explain this year, especially the spring. So now we have, the spring, the week before that, the elementals, they're coming out. They're starting to interact with us, and you could tap into those energies, and you could just say it's okay to come out. We're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see the elves, right? We got the elves who make the toys. We got the elves who whisper things. The Game of was not the Game of Thrones, but with the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and you got the elves who just mend well with nature, and it will help you continue to blend and to connect with nature a lot more this year. So that is really beautiful. There's a child in here, so just to know that you could be expecting and have that child born during this week as well. There's childlike presence in here. It says that you cannot come into the heaven, into the kingdom of God, unless you first become as a child. So that is, the trust and assurance. It's the, the number 2, the right side, the intuition, the belief and the faith. And you just a little tiny faith, you can move mountains. And I believe in that, because mountains can also be a person. It could be a kingdom. It could be, a big business and big pharma, or these corporations. We can change all of those into something even more better. So just kind of remember that. It is a rose card, and then we have the third week, this is number 3. So you have a syncing going on here. And then, of course, the 21 comes down into the 3. So then our next card is the Winged Messengers, which is the card before it's the 2 of Roses. Now, roses is a very, very powerful healing oil. If you look at the megahertz, it's a very high megahertz. It's very expensive oil. It's there's a rose for every occasion. There's a smell and a scent that goes along with different types of roses, but there's a rose for every occasion. They're beautiful. They have thorns to protect themselves, so they automatically protect themselves without adding anything else to it. But queens and kings of the past have taken baths in milk and rose, and especially into the goddess culture, they use a lot of roses in their healing practices. So we have the winged messengers, and to know that angels are going to be around. You're going to see doves, right? The turtle doves. And these are messages, and it's like, what does those messages mean to you? So it's really good to start working the vocabulary of what it means to you. So take some time right now and make a post. And what does a turtle dove mean to you? What does a dove with branches mean to you? What does an angel mean to you? What does a hawk or an eagle mean to you? What does a turkey mean to you? Write one of those into the post and what it means to you, because this is the language, is the things that we know that our angels and divine God can expand upon and keep giving us into a language that we can read energies, and we can interpret those energies into what I'm doing to give you messages. So the most opportune time to do that. I love this card. This is the number 1 card. It is the Oracle of Delphi. Okay, so Philadelphia is from the word Delphi. Delphi means either hollow or the womb. So Phila means love. For many years, we have looked at Philadelphia as brotherly love. But if it's also of the womb, that is sisterly love, not just the love of mankind, but the love of sisters. This is sister love. This is, the oracle. She's telling you these things, and someone is writing them down. She's going through these different methods of rituals to bring into tangible touch, feel, see things into our reality. So don't dismiss it, because it's so, I always like to look at Philadelphia as, the love of the prophetess, because there's so much in the New Testament that is referred just to women, and how that was left out, and names has been changed, things have been added so that women are excluded. But women, if you only knew the power within, is amazing. All right, so even though this is the waning of the moon during this time, the full moon comes in. This is the mother, comforter, and nurturer. It's the 37 card. This is the time where the nurturing still happens, and you're still being watered, you're still being fertilized, you're still being taught. You are, if you're sick, God, the angels, they're going to give you energy to keep going. You will treat yourself with respect, and you put the right food within you so that your body can still amplify. Your salt, vinegar, cleanse, and shower as usual, and then you anoint yourself. That increases your energy so that you can also be the mother. So I see a lot of people that are going to be into that mothering spirit, taking care of your nest, because we had a nest the week before. So this is going to be a really busy time for a lot of you who are celebrating Christmas and family get-togethers, the week before Christmas. So if you're put into that, even as a man, it does not mean that you can't be a mother spirit as well. This mother energy, it's the number 2 that comes from the right side. So it's like a lot of belief and a lot of trust is coming. And, you hold on to that belief, because I do believe that the physical, tangible stuff, it will be coming. So the 4th week of December is December 22nd through the 28th. We have Hanukkah, the celebration of lights, we have Kwanzaa, and we have Christmas and Christmas Eve. So there's 4 main events that happens. I don't know a lot about Kwanzaa, but Hanukkah is about the 8 days of the burning lights, and without being refilled through a body that is dirty, our temple. The Maccabees stated that the temple was defiled by the Philistines. It was when they stole the Ark of the Covenant, destroyed the place, and they were commanded to put all of these candelabras up, or these menorahs up, and to light them. And they did not have to relight them until the 9th day. So 8 is very powerful, and the lights is representing of our chakras into, the star seat, and how our divine spirit flows within us. So it's about clicking on our lights, and this is the opening process, and this is the wake process. So, those who have been doing this for years and years and years, thousands of years, to know that prophecies are being fulfilled, and they will continue to be fulfilled. And then we have Christmas Eve, or Eve's Christmas, because there is a feminine as well as a masculine. So we have Eve, the vitality of life, of the anointed one's mass, or a gathering, a place that we all get together. Then on the next day, the 25th, we have the gathering of the mass, of the crowd, of churches, of the gathering place. So there was also a gathering place between the elders, the 24 elders, not only into the book of Ruth, where it talks about the elders, where Boaz went on behalf of Ruth to buy land on her behalf, right? Because when we honor God, God gives us land, and that we live a long time. And then there's also the 24 elders who bowed before Jesus, who had the emerald around, right? Emerald also represents heart, and the new beginnings. So very beautiful. And sometimes it said, there was like a rainbow in the throne room as well. So I kind of like that. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful stuff. So, new moon also happens the day after the 26th. So guess what? New moon is dark. and I think I'm gonna do another video on how witnesses are declaring the new moon and that it's a new moon, because I don't know how they do that because it's dark. It says, you know, through the darkness, and you know, you hold on to get through, and then you have the breaking point, that the breaking through. It's kind of like the birthing process where you break through and you're coming into the light. Breaking the threshold. So yeah, there's a breaking of the threshold that happens during this time of the new moon. All right, so our first card for this week, the fourth week, is the Eight of Roses, and this is the Sangha and the community, right? This is the gathering. It's like, you know, how beautiful is that? People are coming together to celebrate, you know, Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. So there's a community about it. There's opportunities that are opened here. Yeah, this is the most opportune time, I mean, to break past triggers and to bring in forgiveness. If you have been working on yourself for so long, it is good to go back and see what triggers you have left. And it's like, how do I keep the peace and keep the harmony? And we have the opportunity just in our how we talk to each other to bring healing to each other instead of, you know, pain and anguish. So yeah, community is a big, yeah, I think for a lot of you, especially if you've been by yourself, there is a time for community. If that's not available for you, just remember, internet is here and YouTube is here. There is, and a lot of people who don't celebrate the same times that we do around the world. So there's another source of community that can happen. So then we have the Akashic Library, which is the number 2 card. So 2 is about, you know, divine, and the right side of us is about intuition. It's about, you know, the flow of mother through us and wisdom. The Akashic Library, we can tap in anytime. So like I said, there's that portal that opens up, and it's very strong during this week. Amazing things happen, miracles happen, angels are constantly at work, constantly to show that spirit world is real and that you are loved and cared for. No matter what, nobody is belittled, nobody is made to even feel less than anybody else during this time. We are all equal, on the equal plane, on how God loves you, and he loves us, and we are all his favorites. There's not one person that is more favored than the others. There's just some of us, we just see more signs than from others, but it does not mean that God does not love you any different than he loves me. All right, so then we have, then we're getting caught in that, you know, into the ruins and into that karma stuff. And remember, you can release the karma. So there's ways to climb out because it has like no roof. So it's like the ceiling of opportunities is open. All you have to do is just look up, right? And it's just like, oh yeah, there's a hole there. I can climb out of this pit. And this pit is not like surrounding you completely. It's just like there's air, there is flow, there's energy. It's not, it's stifling into this, you know, well of darkness and water is coming up. No, I mean, there is a ground there that you are grounded. All you have to do is look up and just say, I am here, Lord, help me out of this, because he will send his angels. This is the number 16 card that comes into the 7. One is balance between us and coming into ourselves and is like humbling ourselves before God and saying, yes, I need help. And then number 6 is about the world and it's about love and it's about birth. So, and then it comes into 7, into the divine journey, into your journey, into the rescuer, the Messiah. So all you have to do is just say, I need help, and it's there for you. So then we have the Sun card, and this is about new beginnings. This is alchemy for the Sun. This is how everything is illuminated, everything is shiny, right? We have all of this, you know, shine and gold. Things are turned into gold. It says, you know, that Mary and Joseph were given to the baby Jesus gold, myrrh, and frankincense and other spicy scents. That 3 kings came to them, and I also believe that there were 3 queens, because who would be around for the birth would be women. And so I kind of see that as the 222s, the, you know, wisdom, who is in action here. So there's a lot of illumination. Things are, like I said, things are coming out. You're becoming aware. Things, we put things out here so that you could be aware of the signs. So look for the signs. Look at how the sun is positioned. Where are you? And, just like I had these little dots on my face, of light, and I think it's kind of moved around a little bit. These are angels that are around us. So you are not alone. They're constantly showing you, and just be aware of it. Be in your present. Enjoy where you're at. Touchy-feely. Okay, this is my most favorite time of the year after, Christmas and into my birthday. I will be turning 50 on December 31st, which is Eve's New Year. So Vitality of Life New Year. So this is the 5th week is December 29th to January 4th. And January 4th is the day before Epiphany. Things that are being made manifested. This is the day that we celebrate it. It celebrates, the kings coming to see for themselves their leader that they had said that was here. It's like there's a bright star that led them away. And a star can also be a person. A number 1 is under this the label of star. Then with January 1st, right? New resolutions, the new beginning. So we have December 31 is the end, but it's also a beginning, and then January 1st. So I look at it as the 311, right? The 311 is like the beginning and the end, but it's the beginning. So it's kind of really cool. I really am really happy to be born during this time. And Jubilee is 50. It's about soul freedom. How somebody comes and gives you freedom. How God is buying everything back. It says that we have sins, that debt will be paid. Well, we don't pay for that. God does. Because this is when God comes in. And when Jesus had prayed for your debts, it's not just trespasses and it's not sins. This is physical debt. This is money that's been held against you. This is, not being able to pay off, your loans. And this is, not paying off your lands, is that God's taking everything back. No matter how he's doing it, no matter how the angels are doing it, volcanoes and earthquakes, God is taking back what is rightfully his. And, towers can go down. I mean, all these things could go down. A disruption into bank, into the banking systems, into the cell phone systems. I mean, electronics as we know it could definitely, you'll be really spastic going into 2020, because this is the time that Jubilee hits, and this daughter is going to take everything back. So the things that's happened in my life, I get to receive those. I've already received my children and being able to rescue my children. And that happened last week. You have to see that video. It's in the playlist for November and in story time. So there's a lot of things that is being taken back. So if you have those debts, don't worry about them, because God's going to take them away. So, start January 1st as the new year. A new year is when we make resolutions. And actually, I have a meditation and going through the chakras of the Ray, which is the solar plexus. Soul is the third eye, and the visions and hearing. And the U, which is the 396. It's releasing of fear and guilt. So it's a really beautiful chakra, and it helps you stay into this manifesting time. It doesn't just happen in the beginning of the year. It happens anytime, and especially on Mondays. So here we go. Things can be up in the air. Things could be far, far away, and it's just like, it's just not attainable. And you're reaching for it, and you're reaching for it. Now, visualize it being here. Change your perspective. Change how you're thinking, that you are worthy of whatever is in that balloon, and bring it to you. Bring it to you. Grab a hold of what is in that basket. Is it money? Is it, to make your lifestyle easier? Is it children? Is it, breaking cycles, divine transformation? What is it that's in that basket? And visualize that is coming into your hand, and take it. That is, things up in the air is like you have to decide and, use that free will to change your perspective, because you are worthy of all these beautiful gifts. Santa Claus, I'm going to do a video on Santa Claus and what I mean, how children kind of change their perspectives to be good each and every day of the year. It's beautiful. And then you get these gifts, spiritual gifts. Things are on the way if you're open to that. That's another thing. I'm up in the air. I don't know if I have them. I believe every single person has them. There are just some more closed off than others. But you know what? We're going to have that breakthrough that where people, they're going to open, and it's going to feel like chaos for a lot of them. And then there's going to be a lot of us who's already gone through stuff that we can help them. We don't want people to struggle and, continue to take their own lives, or, that they have to hide because, oh, this is a taboo. We can't talk about this. Well, no more of that. We cannot have separation for spirit and body anymore. Is making us sick and dying sooner. So no. We're not doing that no more. So change that perspective. Now we have the Five of Forces. This is an energy card. This is about, if you're looking for money, it's coming because it's under the number 5. This is like the first 5 that we've gotten into our reading. 5 is, you got the summer that is going on. Things are getting ready for harvest, right? Everything is in the mix. Again, we had the new moon last week, so this is the waxing of the moon, where things, you made that list and now you're doing the actions to get those things, right? Even just the thought process and how you think it, and then speak it out. It says to, if you're praying, to make those known, make your prayers and your petitions known, speak it out, speak it into existence, just like God did when he spoke over the world and how it came into existence. So, and then our opposite is winter. And winter is the new moon. It's the, there's a manifesting. It's getting rid of stuff, even in our own bodies. Getting rid of, not just, keeping in, but getting it out and releasing it, just like these little bubbles. And then it's going to bubble right through you. You may cry, but it's only going to be for a little while, because you're going to feel that healing in you. And then God and the angels, they're going to fill you up with this love, joy, and peace. And you just say, after you get through that healing process, it's like, continue to fill me up, Lord. Continue to fill me up, angels. Raphael is a great one to keep working with that too. All right, then we have the 8 of Keys. Again, you're given a key for abundance. Artisans and creators. Oh man, this is the week after Christmas. All these ideas. I mean, even last night I can't even sleep. I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night because I have all these ideas to put on my Etsy page. But it's just like, artisans, and look at all these windows, glass ceilings, and there's so much opportunities, and that you're going to be paid very well for your creations. Your creations open spirituality, and it's coming into the left side, into this action. I told you that all the action is going to bring things into, into reality for you. So hold on to that faith, the first, almost 4 weeks of December, because now the last week of December into January is going to come. I mean, hello, it's like, haven't you been waiting for it? I know, Capricorn, that's why I am. I've been waiting for this for 50 years to make it and, be true and authentic to yourself, because you're going to be paid for those beautiful efforts. People is going to partner with you. People are going to be like, wow, where have you been all my life? Connections and relationships. All these things are going to happen. Whatever you're manifesting is going to happen for you. And it's going to continue to happen in 2020. Keep working on yourself. And you know what? This is the most beautiful card. I love this card. This is Ruth. And I talked about Ruth in the beginning of this reading. Ruth, it means friends. How Jesus came and he says, I come as friends. Well, he took on the role, and he was like an actor and acted out everything on behalf of the woman and Boaz. So he acted out everything that Ruth had done, and then Boaz, he did 2 parts. He did the feminine and the masculine to put it together. So the whole New Testament, and especially Revelations, is the book of Ruth. It's about the friend, and the friend that comes is the 147, which, if we come into the 147s and we talk about the 741s and the 417s, it's transformation and change, into, the third eye, into these visions, that all of these things are making sense. Okay, so excited, and it's a 5-0. So whenever, or 5-6. So whenever you see fives, these are dollar signs that money, your riches, your gifts, your rewards, all of these things are coming in for your faith and for the works that you are doing. Right? Be humble to bring that, and always give thanks to where things belongs, to divine, and to those that are giving you too. You need to give thanks to them as well. So the overall energy that we have the clarity now, because it was about death and magic, which at a magical time, things are going away, things are really changing in December. And here we have 22, we have Goddess Iris in communication. So it's just like, this is the overall energy, the clarity that comes into this communication that you're going to understand. It's like, it's going to make sense. It's like, I have the understanding. I could do this. Other people is doing it. That's what, the Christmas Carol was, through what Charles Dickens had to go through in 6 weeks. He did all that and put it in the book. And it was amazing. And it changed his life. And he went on to be a brilliant author. So this is the communication, right? The writing and the speaking, and how we can bring people together. We can, if you can only know the things that I know that is coming. It's amazing. So like, speaking opportunities is just like, take those opportunities when they come to you. When you are offered to go to social, when you're offered to go to church, do it, because you can learn. You're going to learn something, and then you're going to end up living it, and then you're going to walk through it. Okay? So it's kind of like when Jesus said about a divorce. He didn't know that he was married. He had to say it. And then he walked through it, and he had a divorce. So I really believe that Jesus was a divorced man who also remarried. So because as prophets, there's things that you have to do when you are a prophet of God, right? You're there, you have to speak it, you have to walk through it. And then, so that's part of the teaching process, is that you will be walking through all of these things, and people are going to look up to you, and you're like, how did you do that? And you're going to have a journal, right? You're going to have your journal, because you're going to write it all down. You have to write it down there, because that would be a great tool for you to learn, to remember what happened, so you can, teach it and make it happen again and again and again. All right, so that is overall energies. So I want to let you know that many different things. Thanks for hanging in as far as you did. First of all, thank you. I'm so blessed to have you in my life. We're going into Thanksgiving and to Christmas, into the new year. I am picking up orders, which is so needed, but I am offering 20% off a $50 order at my Etsy page from now until December 15th. 20%. So everything you add it into your cart at checkout, they'll take out 20%. Thank you so much. That's probably like one of my only major discounts that I give in a year, so you want to take advantage of that. There's tons of stuff at my Etsy page, Star of Destiny. Secondly, what I'm going to be doing this coming week is two things. 2020 predictions. It will be a general video that I will record, and you will get a free download. So if you want to share that video so people can get that download, and then they can listen to it. I am in the process of making a journal for the whole year, and the condensed version. The condensed version is for those who can't afford the whole book, but they can print out the pages, what they needed. So there would be like an executive book, and then a very basic one. Journals. I get so much, how do I listen to the angels? How do I do this? And so this will help you, and it will help you with the energies and to know what to expect, because that's what prophecies are. Prophecies is so that we know what to expect. We see the signs, we can interpret it, and we're going to like, okay, get ready, right? But not to be in fear, because we know as an oracle reader and as a minister, I don't get into the fear of things. I had to work 8 years to get to this point, to even put myself back on YouTube. And every month, starting January 2020, on the monthly reading, I will give a free MP3 download. Free. So that can go into doing another reading that is more personalized and customized to you. I do weekly readings where there's 7 days a week. I do the monthly, which is the 4 or 5 week period, and then I could do the yearly. I will be doing the 2020 predictions for the zodiac signs that you can download for a small price, and that will be coming up in the next 2 weeks for this new year, so you know what to expect for your zodiac sign. They will be really tailored to you and what you're going through, because that's just how the angels work, and it's amazing. So thank you again for being part of my family and supporting me, and I'm so truly blessed to have every one of you and subscribing to me, embedding my videos into your blogs, onto your websites. I mean, I see all the analytics, and I am so blessed and you'll be called your teacher and your leader. So thank you. Enjoy the beautiful month. I will be putting 2020 up into the predictions into this next week as well. So thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Love you all.